welcome to this video. We are going to be doing an unboxing of the Matic Tacx turbo trainer. We are also going to be doing a 1 month review. On top of that, we are going to be doing a sound test and a wattage test. If we go straight to the unboxing, what you'll find in this box is there we go. So we've got skewers and manual. We've also got the unit itself, the cable, the resistance lever, the stand or the frame, and the feet. So straight away it is not all connected into one. We have the resistance unit here with the cable and the resistance lever all attached together. It does feel quite tight. We then have the stand, which is almost completely built together already. All you really need to do to this frame is add the unit and the feet. The feet aren't easy to get out of the polystyrene, I'll tell you. Okay, so we've got the feet. First thing I'm going to do is put the rubber feet on the stand. There we go. Nice and easy. Seems pretty stable. So in terms of adjustment, because this can fit both a mountain bike wheel and a road wheel, you do have two different holes right on top of each other there. Mine did come with an Allen key to put on the two bolts, but I decided to just use my multi-tool because it is a slightly bit easier. So if you can see here, the difference, basically I've got, at the moment I have the bolts in the lower holes. The lower hole actually makes the unit rise, so it goes closer in. So make sure you have them in the correct holes. Right, so I'm just going to turn this around so you guys can see what I'm doing. Just push the screw in, wiggle it around a bit so it's in, so you can check that it's in the hole in the back rear of the unit. So once you've done that, you've made sure that it is pretty tight. The unit is pretty much ready to go. All you need to do now is install the skewer, which it comes with included, into your rear wheel. Never use a normal skewer because they are going to be lightweight, whereas the steel skewers are strong and they're less likely to snap, and also they're rounded so they do fit into the clamps a little easier. There we go. So in terms of legs, they do come up quite far, creating quite a bit of stability. So in terms of the clamp on, it is nice, easy and quick. You've got this nice little kick thing on the back so you can stand on it and it will clamp into your wheel. In terms of adjustments, you've got this underneath, so to tighten it or to loosen it, push it in and all done. So in terms of clamp on, it's not too hard at all. All you really need to do is hold your wheel in there, adjust the screw bit that comes out. Once you've done that, you can tighten it up and make it solid so it doesn't move. You then make sure the back of the actual resistant unit is pushed down so it's got space. You then align it and you push it in. Now you want it quite solid because if you are standing up sprinting or even just using it in general, you don't want it to fall out. So for me, that's a little bit loose. I'd like it a little bit tighter. So I'm just gonna loosen off this blue screw and then take the wheel out a little bit and then unscrew it a little bit more. So if you can see both of the legs there, when I'm pushing that in, they actually flex out a little bit. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. It could actually mean that it's quite flexible. However, that little adjustment could mean a little bit of extra stability. So it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Now, once that's in properly, get your foot push it down. So in terms of pressure, make sure your tyre pressure is quite high. So anything from 90 psi to 110 would be okay. My tyres are quite thick. The recommended tyre pressure on these tyres are no more than 90. So that is the tyre pressure I'm using at the moment. Okay, so now we've got it all set up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a sound test. It's not going to be that scientific. We're going to start at 80 watts and then just gradually increase. After that, we can do a resistance test. Okay, so here we go. If you look here, we're pretty much holding steady at 100, pretty much 120 watts. So it's a slight humming. It sounds like your fan, to be fair. Like if you've got a house fan on level 2, that's what it's going to sound like. It's not too loud at all. You can feel the vibration in the back. That vibration obviously is going to be dampened if you've got a trainer mat. Even at the sound of my voice now, I'm easily talking over it and it isn't a problem. So if I just gradually ramp up, so when you get to about 180 and then it gradually gets louder and louder as you put more power out. So this is at 260, 240, 250 watts. So now it pretty much sounds, I'm having to raise my voice a little bit. So if we gradually ramp up again, we're now at 300. So if we gradually ramp up again, we're now at 300. The sound hasn't changed much at all, to be fair. So from 250, 260 to 300, not much difference. So I'm going to go to, so now, you're hitting about 340, it's getting a slightly bit louder. Definitely slightly bit louder. So, someone most probably could hit this in the next room easily. You're hitting about 340, it's getting a slightly bit louder. Definitely slightly bit louder. So, someone most probably could hit this in the next room easily. Vibrations are the same, but it's just slightly louder, as you can hear. So 400 watts, and it just gradually increases. So now I'm just going to do a couple of hard efforts just to make you aware of the feel of the resistance as you ramp up the power. And although you're going to be able to hear how loud the trainer is, this is more to do with wattage output. So in terms of wattage output, you can definitely feel a slight release in resistance when you get to about 650 watts. But that doesn't, what that means is it doesn't get easier. You rely more on how quickly you're spinning the pedals, your cadence, your actual power output, rather than resistance. I'm just going to take this quick swig. We'll see how much we can show off on this wattage output. So that definitely got loud. My mistake there was I left it in resistance 2. So it didn't have the highest resistance. Right, so now I'm in the highest resistance level. I'm doing pretty much 220 watts. Quite a nice pace, and it's still quite quiet. So if I'm just going to ramp up, try to do a sprint. So if I'm just going to ramp up, try to do a sprint. So in terms of sprint power there, on the highest resistance, you can definitely get up to about 1000 watts. I think my high sustained power is 1200 watts. However, I'm going to snap to a quick video here where it does show you that I did hold 1000, I did get a peak of 1400 watts. But I'm not sure how accurate that is, simply because I was only able to hold it for about a second. So if it was for 2 to 5 seconds, you'd know that that power is a bit more reliable, but it could have just been a quick spike up and back down. I really should put my fan on, but I didn't put my fan on simply because I wanted you to hear the actual sound of the trainer and make your mind up by that. So in terms of reliability for this trainer, I've had it a month now and it's pretty solid. I have found some slight niggles. A couple of things that I've found is, if you see there, it goes up to 1, you let go, and it pops to 2. Now that's as loose as the cable gets, so I can tighten the cable here, but that will make it harder to go to 1 instead of easier. That's one thing I don't like about it. Number 2 is, you'll see, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there is a slight rippage of the cable outing. So cable length and how short it is also depends on what kind of what size bike you've got. So if you've got a 54, you've got a 52 or something like that, then the cable's going to be long enough just to drag along the floor and then come up safely. But slightly bigger size frames, it's not going to shorten the cable length, but it's going to have longer to reach. So that kind of reach is going to make the cable ride up off the floor a little bit, and you might have trouble, and you might trip over it or something. My favourite part of this trainer is the quick release. So you can release it out of the trainer quickly. You just flip it up and kick off the resistance unit, and that is pretty much your bike's ready to go. So a couple of things I've got to point out is this isn't a smart trainer. The only thing that can class it as a smart trainer is the speed and cadence sensor that comes in the more expensive package. So you get 2 packages. One is the Tacx Blue Matic by itself with the resistance dial only, and the other one comes with a speed and cadence sensor. That speed and cadence sensor can technically class it as a smart trainer, but it's not. It's not an interactive smart trainer. When I mean interactive, it means that when you go up a hill on Zwift or any other training program you're using, it can change the resistance for you based on the gradient of the hill. Sound when you're going about 1000 watts is relatively loud, but if you're not pushing out 1000 watts all the time, the sound isn't that bad. When you get up to about 600, it does get slightly louder, but if you're holding anything from about 100 to 300 watts, this trainer is quite quiet in terms of budget trainers, and that's all I've got to say. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next video.